Hello, everybody. Hold on a second here. I've already messed up. Hold on. Wanted to show the trailer. There we go. Let's try that again.
Not assassins.
It's not a good trailer, but
What are we gonna do?
In a part of the world where there are no rules,
We pick up their trailer with a chopper, run them down, grab those hostages before anybody knows we were there. What do you mean we?
deep in the jungle, where nothing that lives is safe.
You lose it here. You're in a world of hurt. Shoot, kid. Knock.
An elite rescue squad
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
is being led by the ultimate warrior.
You need the best. That's why you're here.
But now,
Let's get Billy so spooked.
there's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man. They're up against the ultimate enemy.
Holy Mother God.
Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before.
She says the jungle just came alive and took him.
We cannot see it,
No blood, no bodies. We have nothing.
but it sees the heat of our bodies and the heat of our fear.
Whatever it is out there, it killed Hopper. And now it wants us.
It kills for pleasure.
He was skinned alive.
It hunts for sport.
He's killing us one at a time. We're all gonna die.
But this time, it's picked the wrong man to hunt.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Twentieth Century Fox presents Arnold Schwarzenegger. Predator. The hunt begins Friday, June 12th at theaters everywhere.
well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 17 of the 31 Days of Monsters. If you enjoy these shows, please subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. It'll help the channel out and help me bring more of these to you. So today, we're talking about 1987's classic, The Predator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. John McTiernan directed. An excellent, excellent movie. What I really liked about this movie when I saw it in the theaters was that it starts off as a military rescue type film about commandos going in to get some people out, some downed comrades, so to speak. There's some CIA shenanigans going on, so you're not quite sure whose side. What's the actor's name? I can't remember his name now. Apollo Creed. I can't remember his name. Anyway, we're not sure whose side he's on. But then as we get into the movie, they do their military stuff in the jungles, and then things start to go south on them. And then it becomes a hunt movie, where, the old cliche, the hunters become the hunted, and the predator starts tracking these guys down. And so I love when a movie changes direction. And this is one of the first ones I've ever seen that did that. And it was really cool. I think it also is one of, is probably the movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger really started to act in, I think he took it seriously. He has some really nice moments in here where he can show some subtlety. Carl Weathers, thank you. I got all this, everybody reminding me it's Carl Weathers. Thank you. These mornings sometimes the brain hasn't fired up yet, and I actually haven't had my coffee. So if I blather on, I'm gonna say that's the reason. So anyway, back to the movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger lost 25 pounds for his role as Dutch in this film, which is that's a lot of weight. I guess he wanted to look more a little bit leaner, a little more athletic and less bodybuilding. And originally, the design of the Predator was completely different. I want to show you what he looked like originally. Can you see that? And that's Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Predator suit. He worked on this film for about 10 days and then quit. They didn't like the design either. I guess the original concept was that the Predator, would, and having Van Damme in it, was to have the Predator be more agile and do some cool martial arts type stuff too, like fighting techniques. But that didn't work out. Nobody really liked that Predator design, so they scrapped it and completely redesigned it, and had Peter Hall, who was 7'2", play it. And I think it was probably a better idea to have that really big, imposing character. The design of the Predator, the modern Predator look, or the one that they used, came from a couple inspirations. One was a producer had a Rastafarian poster that Stan Winston had seen, and he thought, that look with the dreadlocks would be really cool. And then he and James Cameron were flying over to Japan for a symposium that was about aliens, which had just come out. And James Cameron said to him, what he'd like to see would be, it's never been done before, was like a creature with mandibles. And so Winston had that idea in his head too. And so, that's why the Predator has that mandible teeth, which up until then you never saw before, but now it's everywhere. Every damn monster's got those mandible teeth, it's I guess nothing succeeds like excess, huh? This was a hard shoot. You never know it when like behind the scenes how things were when you're watching the film because of Hollywood magic, but the location where they're at, they're constantly plagued with like dysentery, actors and crew members with dysentery, bugs, poisonous snakes, and poisonous insects as well. It was not a fun shoot. If any of you guys have ever seen Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the thing that brought him national attention, you can see what a playful guy he was and what a thinker how he liked to get into dudes' heads to give him an edge, when he had to go on stage. Because in Pumping Iron, you see how Arnold plays with Lou Ferrigno's head. And it's like it's a master class in psychology. And on this set, Jesse Ventura was told by the costumer when he was fitting him for his outfit that his arms were bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger's. And Ventura was so pleased to hear this. He went to Arnold and he said, "Hey, we should have an arm measuring contest, and whoever wins, whoever loses has to buy the other guy a bottle of champagne." So Arnold agreed to it, and of course his arms were bigger because he had told the costumer to tell Jesse Ventura that his arms were bigger than his. So he already knew. So he really played him. I love that kind of ball busting stuff. That's so much fun. But yeah. So anyway, I know everybody has seen this. This is a fantastic film. Great action. The direction is great. It's a good cast. Shane Black is in it too, a screenwriter. In fact, during his downtime, he was writing the screenplay for The Last Boy Scout. So he got paid double duty, I guess, huh? Okay, let's say good morning to everybody here. Let's see who's in. Oz Great Sage is here. He says, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Stat Zero is here. Good morning. North Free, get to the chopper. Hail Graham in the mighty chat. Yes, get to the chopper. That's Schwarzenegger's favorite line from all his movies, all his little taglines. That's what he says. Nicholas Greer is here. Good morning, Nicholas. North Free says the Predator is one of the best stalker killers in horror, even if it has an ugly face. Pedro Ang is here. He says, good morning. Comicsgate Predator. That's supposed to be my backyard. Oh. Nolan Taylor is here. Hello there, sir. What a wonderful first name you have. Chris Daughtry says, good morning, everyone. I love some Predator. The sequels, not so much. The second one is awful. The one with Danny Glover. That one is absolutely horse crap. The recent one, the Rodriguez one, I think it's just called Predators, where they take like badasses off of Earth and bring him to like a game preserve, basically an alien game preserve where the predators go, sort of like big game hunting. I like that one a lot. I thought that one was really cool. It opens up. It has got a great opening too, where you just hear the sound of rushing wind, and this dude is falling. You don't realize he's falling, but when he wakes up from the wind, like he's been unconscious, and he wakes up and he's falling, like free falling, and he's trying to get a parachute to work, and you don't know what the hell, how he got there, where he is, and it's a really great opening. Jamalkin or Gemalkin says the trailer sucks, but the movie is great. Yeah, that trailer was terrible. Fawad Siddiqui is here. Good morning, and thank you for saying it was Carl Weathers, because I went completely brain dead on that. This movie is also famous for possibly having more testosterone in it than any other. Yeah, it does have a lot of tea. What's that guy's name? Sonny Langstrom. Let me see. Hold on a second here. Sonny Landham, who plays Billy in this. The producers had to hire a bodyguard for him while he was filming this, not to protect him, but to protect people from him. Evidently, he was known to have a short temper and to start fights. And so, they had to have people watch him. And if I'm not wrong, I believe he did some, he was known for like some porn films or soft porn, something like that. I remember reading about the guy. Liquid Blake is here. Stan Winston's design is awesome. One of the best creatures in a movie. Yeah, and his hardware, all that stuff. I guess to film the invisibility stuff, they had the stunt guy wearing like a completely red outfit, so that it was the complete opposite color of all the green in the jungle, and then the blue of the sky. And then they filmed the jungle stuff in a wider angle lens and removed the red, and then it wrapped around it and gave an edge to it because it was filmed with a wider edge. Interesting production technique to create that. Remember, this is 1987. There's no CG. This is all practical effects and really cool camera work. You know the scene where Arnold is he cloaks himself with all that clay and mud. Um, that was potter's clay, really thick, wet, and cold. Um, and unfortunately, when they shot all those night scenes, it was cold in that jungle, and Arnold was freezing. He had the shivers, uncontrollable shivers, and they tried to warm him with heat lamps, but all the heat lamps did was cake the clay. So that ruined that. So they couldn't do that. So then he started drinking some schnapps, and that didn't warm him up, but it got him drunk. So he just had to tough it out. Rick Saylor is here. Good morning. Pedro Ang says, it is in my backyard, a lot of life that wants to kill you. Gamalkin says, it's 5 a.m. here. I'm only up because I love this shit. Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you. Shoot. I hate when it does this. There we go. We got a measuring contest here. North says, I've got grizzlies and wolves. Pedro Wang, what you got? Late to the game says, my dad showed me this film as a boy and said, this is what being a man is. Some of best boys own film out there. Not sure what that means, but that's pretty cool. I ain't got time to bleed. Blake says Sonny Landham's Billy was such a cool character on and off screen. Nolan Taylor says they would all work out together. Except Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers was playing some mind games with him, and he wanted everybody to think his body was completely natural. So he would work out, completely by himself so they wouldn't see him doing his workouts. Oh, well, this is cool. Fawad Siddiqui says he got to act in a movie with Elpidia Carrillo a couple of years ago and do a sort of fight scene with her. She really did kick my butt some. I was honored. LOL. That's cool. Well, she can't be any spring chicken anymore either. That's this movie's over 30 years old. Nice nod that they included the original Predator design in Predators as one of the aliens on the game planet. Ah, cool. I didn't catch that. And I just saw that recently, too. That's neat. Predators was the best of the sequels, though not perfect, but decent. It's all right, Liquid. I caught that. I made an editorial decision and changed it. Bill Donlevy says Predator is an awesome action flick. Great cast, score, effects, etc. The cast or the crew, I should say, that gun thing that the Predator has up on his shoulder. They called that the parrot gun because it looked like a plastic parrot on his shoulder, like something out of a Peter Sellers movie. That's right. Sonny Landon was in 48 Hours. I forgot about that. Dark Horse Comics did the best sequels to the movies with their early miniseries. The one with Dutch's brother is fun. Oh, I never read those. The guy they hired as security for Sonny nearly quit because he was so scared of him. Wow. No, I have to disagree with you here, Rick. Predator 2 has its downfalls, but the more you watch it, it grows on you. I don't believe for 1 minute that Danny Glover could survive 30 seconds. He moves like he's got concrete blocks in his shoes. He's so slow and plodding. He never comes across the way Arnold does. So right then and there, I'm not buying the premise of the movie. Stat Zero's got to blow. He's got to get to work. All right, bud. Glad you made it in. Glenn Marty Stein, old buddy from high school. Glad you're here. Glad to see you, Marty. Glad you're enjoying it. Nolan Taylor says Dark Horse definitely has some great alien comics. Colonial Marines was fantastic. Speaking of great alien comics, how about Alien Alamo? Have you guys all backed Alien Alamo? We're coming to the finish line on this. It's like 8 pages left, and coloring is coming along. It'll go out for lettering once I finish those last pages. Type up the script. So it's not going to be up a whole lot longer. So if you've been on the fence, get on there and back it, because I'm wanting to fulfill in December. So things are moving along. Richard Chavez and Jesse Ventura were the 2 members that actually served in the military. The Alabama tick scene was a cool little tip of the hat to that with those 2. Yeah, I don't know about Richard Chavez, but Jesse Ventura was a Navy SEAL. Ever do any Dark Horse stuff or any movie adaptations, Graham? Yes. I did Justice League versus Predators, which was a crossover, DC Dark Horse crossover. And it was the comic that almost drove me out of the business. Here's the thing. The original idea for Justice League versus Predators was to kind of have a little tip of the hat to those old Justice League stories where they'd fight the Injustice Society. So in other words, you'd have Superman versus a Superman doppelganger type of thing, a Batman versus the evil Batman, whatever. And so we're going to do that with the Predators. And so I spent days designing costumes for these Predators so that they would reflect in a Predator way their superhero doppelganger. So there was a Superman Predator, and he had to have things on him that would visually cue you that he's the Superman one. So like, I took the alphabet, the Predator glyphs, if you will, those things that look like, they're symbols and stuff, and created something that looked like a Superman S. And I did the same. So I had did that for Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, all these, and gave them their own unique looks. And so my editor says, okay, great, get going. So I'm 36 pages in, and I get a call from him saying that the Predator designs have not been approved by Dark Horse. They want to use the traditional Predator outfits. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He never ran it by Dark Horse. So I penciled 36 pages of panels, 4, 5, 6 panels on a page for 36 pages with these Predators in these costumes that he approved. And now I had to change all that. And I had to go back and do these traditional Predator costumes. And some of the angles that were chosen for the drawings that I originally did didn't necessarily work to show off the traditional Predator outfits. So needless to say, that was a horror of a project to work on for me. And that editor got fired shortly thereafter. The music is fantastic too. Yeah, the music is something you don't think about, but it really is cool. It has this kind of a drum beat to it, like when they first show up. It kind of goes up and down. I do like the music in this. The chat saying it's Alan Silvestri. Silvestri. Let's see here. Crease 1984. I would definitely back Alien Alamo. Fantastic. The link is in the description of this show. I did that last night. I believe it's in there, but if it's not, you know what? I'm going to throw it right into the chat. Hold on a sec here. There we go. Thank you, Crease 1984. So the link is now down there in the chat too, as well. Jay, Justice League versus Predator, anything for a buck, ADC. That's not a bad idea. I thought it was a cool crossover. It was just just the process of creating that thing was horrible. I love how very subtle the science fiction aspects of that first Predator movie are. Less is more. Only a glimpse of the spaceships and some of the tech, but it all sells it. Yeah, I agree. We don't really need to know too much. We discover as Dutch discovers. So I like that aspect of the storytelling. He doesn't know anything, and we don't know anything that the other one doesn't know already. With Graham on the team, the Predator leaves the planet. Yeah, I gave him his walking papers. Yeah, I would have liked to have smoked some cigars with Arnie. There's a lot of pictures of him and the crew guys. In fact, he turned Carl Weathers on to cigars. Uh, when Weathers was a non-smoker, he didn't smoke anything. Going back to his pro football days, but Arnie gave him a cigar on the set, and then gifted him a whole box of them. And I guess he's been a cigar aficionado ever since. Let's see here. Nolan Taylor says Peter Cullen voiced the creature. Cool Cotton just popping in here towards the end. He's missed most of the stream. He's going to go back and rewatch it. Excellent. Don't be tempted. Pull the trigger, Crease 1984. You're going to want this comic, Alien Alamo. It's awesome. Billy had the biggest balls in the first movie going up against the Predator with just a knife. Yeah, that was like a death by cop scene, I think. You know, he knew it was coming and he was gonna go out swinging. Can you imagine the fun those guys had screwing with each other on the set? Yeah, I can just imagine the ball busting that went on. You know, this the classic sequence, and I can imagine them filming this scene when Dutch and Dylan meet for the first time. You know, and they to do the close up, the bicep close up, and he's like, "Dylan, you son of a bitch," and they're doing the hand thing, and he says something. What's wrong, Dylan? You pushing too many pencils? You know, and they're doing their little macho arm wrestling thing. That scene is so 80s and so much fun. But I can only imagine those two guys were going at it, you know. Okay, I think we covered just about everything here. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see what's up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a really good one from 1931, and it is the only horror movie that was given an Oscar for Best Actor to Frederick March. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And it is pronounced Jekyll, not Jekyll. So tune in for that. I don't know where you can watch that one. You might have to, you probably have to rent it. I doubt that that this one is free anywhere, but I could be wrong. So do your homework and watch this one, because it's a wonderful makeup effects, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. How they accomplished some of the really cool transition scenes as Jekyll turns into Hyde. It still holds up amazingly, considering how long ago it was. So we're going to do that one tomorrow. Until then, you guys enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye now.